Welcome to Calming Confectionery. I'm Janina Hamilton, and I'm here to help you explore strategies, share inspiring stories, and provide practical tips to help you overcome self-doubt and limiting beliefs, and set and pursue ambitious goals with confidence, all while avoiding burnout. Whether you're growing a business, building a passion project, or working on your personal goals, this space is for you. So let's dive in, silence your inner critic, and create the life you've always wanted, all while taking care of yourself along the way.
Welcome back to the Calming Confectionery podcast. I am so excited that you are here. I think the other reason, not just because, hey, you decided to listen to me or watch me click on this YouTube video, but you have decided that you want to learn how to have better balance, better boundaries in your work from home life, because it's so difficult to separate work from life when technically you work where you live. I had a friend that told me that, and I can't remember if I've said this in a previous episode or not, but she was like, I don't work from home. I live where I work. And I'm like, you know what? That is an absolutely true statement. So if you know of anybody, any of your friends at all, that you're like, yeah, she has kind of a hard time balancing the fact that she is working from home, whether that is for a company or she has a business or both, really, because we all have had side hustles at some point in time. Please be sure to share this episode with her. So let's get into it. So what happens, right, when we start working from home? We're like, man, we have like all this time in the world, is what we feel like, because we no longer have to have a commute. We can eat at our desk. We can eat lunch at our desk, breakfast, whatever, roll out of bed, get on the computer, do what you need to do, and be done. But what happens is we get kind of mixed up sometimes, and we don't have a separation between what are we doing for work and how are we living our lives, because work gets to be such the focus, because you're not leaving the house, that when you log off for the day, you go straight to the TV and you try to numb yourself from everything that happened while you were working. You no longer have a drive or a commute or anything like that to decompress for the day. So we're going to talk about 3 tips today that will help you to separate work from life. How can you leave those 8 hours or so in that government issued, not government issued, but work company issued laptop or your business laptop? How do we separate the day from your life? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you right now, this is not easy. This separation is going to take effort and practice, but the benefits absolutely outweigh the struggle or the effort that it's going to take for you to do this. So let's get into it. The first 2 apply to everybody. So all 3 of them, they do apply to everybody, but the third tip really is directed at those who have businesses, although it can apply to you if you work for a company from home. So let's get into it. Number 1, set a clear start time. Now, this does not matter whether you decide that you want to get up in the morning and roll out of bed, or roll on the other side of the bed and turn on your laptop and start working. So if that's your thing, if your thing is, I'm not getting up and getting dressed to work from home, hey, do you, but know that that is your clear start time. Because if you don't treat the clear start time as like you're going into the office, then you're not going to have that separation between I woke up, I'm now working, or I woke up and I need to do some life stuff first. So having that clear start time for the day is absolutely important. if you work from home and you don't have a time where you have to clock in, where they're not monitoring you on Teams, then yeah, you set that clear start time. And especially for those who have businesses, treat it as if you're going into the office. Stop trying to mix your life, fixing breakfast and all of that, with working from home, because that mix is going to make you overwhelmed, exhausted. That boundary is not set. You keep stepping on it, and it's you. You have to really enforce your own boundary. And that's really the case. It's like you can have these boundaries, but if you're not enforcing them, then what good are they, right? So step number 1 is to set a clear start time for work. Number 2 is to set a clear end time for work. So if you are that girly who's like, I'm going to roll over and turn on my laptop and start working, well, know that at the end of 8 hours, or like I know some who work 9 hours Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday they only have to work 4 hours. Set that clear end time. Know that if you wake up early and you decide I'm going to start working now, that in 8 or 9 hours, you are going to stop working. You're going to close that laptop and you're going to be done for the day. Same thing goes for you if they say that you have to start working at a certain time. Well, that means they also say you should stop working at a particular time. So you need to make sure that you are honoring that within yourself, especially if they are not paying you anymore for being available for them and continuing to be working for them without the advantage of being paid. So first, you set a clear start time for the day, and second, you set a clear end time for the day based on how many hours you want to work. For you business ladies, you need to do the same thing. How many hours a day are you planning to work? And you also need to have a plan for what you're going to do on your business on what days, because if you don't, then you're just going to be piddling around, doing things here, there, and everywhere, and then nothing will get accomplished. So having a plan, knowing what you're going to do, and knowing how long you are planning to work, so that when that time is up, then you will know and be ready to be like, yes, this is life now. Because you don't start a business or even work a job not to do the things that you want to do, right? That's the whole crux of this podcast, right? Do what you want to do so you can do what you need to do better. Yeah, sometimes we have to work, but we have to do it in a way that feels good so that we are still doing the things that we want to do. So number 1, set a clear start time. Number 2, set a clear end time. And number three, if you have a creative job, then this applies to you. If you have a business that the ideas just keep coming, this applies to you. Every time you get an idea does not mean that you need to execute it in the moment. Okay? So when you get an idea and it is outside of your clear end time for the day, you need to write it down and revisit it the next day, the next business day, for your clear start time. Because that mix of, oh, I got an idea, I need to work on it right now, is stepping on that boundary of your life, having a clear differentiation between business, work, and life. It's only going to cause you to be overwhelmed if you continue to work and do things that encroach on what you even started your business for, or started working for this particular company where you can be creative in. You have to stop and really enjoy your life, and know that when you do set those things aside, write them down, have a designated note in your phone for them. So if you're out doing something, then you can come back to it when you have that clear start time. If you're at home, have a notebook Whatever it is, have something for you to write it down. Because sometimes we have these crazy ideas and maybe they're not even crazy. Maybe they are actually really good ideas, but then you revisit them when things are calmer and you're not like in the moment, and you go, maybe that's not such a great idea for my business. So it also gives you time to think and process and understand where you were coming from, why you wanted to do it, and then decide whether it is actually a viable option for your business or for your job, whatever that may be. So having that that place for you to write down ideas is so important, so that you're not continually putting work in front of your life, the things that you want to do. So there are my 3 tips about how to separate life and business. The 3 simplest ways: have a clear start time. And again, for those of you who are roll over in the bed and start on your laptop, that is fine. Do that. If that is what makes you feel good, do that. But also have a clear end time for your work. If you're going to work 9 hours so you can have 4 hours and enjoy your life on Friday, do that. But don't do more than what you are required to do, so that you can continue to live your life after you close the laptop. And number 3, if you get ideas for your job or your business, write them down and revisit them when the time comes, when it is more appropriate for you to do so. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out. There's not going to be any separation between work and business. You're going to be, or work and life. You're going to be constantly overwhelmed. You're going to allow work to consume you. And that is the last thing that we want to do. The reason we work is to enjoy our lives, to have the funds in order to enjoy our lives, to have that creative expression, to enjoy our lives. So don't allow work or your business to consume you to the point where you're not enjoying your life. And then sometimes what it ends up happening is, if you are consumed totally with work or business, when you do have any downtime, what do? You turn on the TV and then you watch other people's lives and you forget what it is that you enjoy doing on your own. So you're not being lit up by any means. You're only watching other people's lives. You scroll on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. You're doing things to numb the fact that all you do is work. So make sure that you are taking the time to create that separation, to fill your cup, to use your time in a way that's good for you. Because it is hard. I acknowledge that. I know that. I've been working from home for the past 6 years. It can really be difficult to set things down, to close the laptop, to log off, to really stop doing things that are created, or not created, but affiliated with work or business. So really work on it. Take the time to really work on understanding what it is that you like to do, so that you know that you can have that start time, that end time, and that place for your ideas, that those things are going to support you in separating your business, your work from your life. So what do you do? So how do you do this then? So I have created a checklist for work from home women who especially have these feelings of guilt when they want to do things for themselves, self-care, essentially. So I created this checklist. There are 6 items on there. You go in, get that checklist, sign up for it. It'll be in the show notes and also in the description. And click on that, sign up, get it. And it has 6 things for you to do, for you to choose one of them per week, for you to try out, to see which ones you really like to do, so that you can stop feeling guilty for working so much, or working and not having that separation of life and business, or life and work, because you do want to have that. No one really wants to sit around and watch TV all day. do really want to enjoy our lives and the fruit that comes from working. We don't work to sit at home and do nothing, or to feel like we're always working. Having that set, clear start time, end time, and place for you to put things makes a really big difference. So grab a copy of my work from home, guilt-free self-care checklist for you ladies that work from home. And really it works for anybody. So if you don't work from home, this will work for you as well. But it gives you those 6 ideas so you can choose one at a time until it becomes a habit that will help you to fill your cup during the workday. And then there's also a bonus of a couple of things that will help you by establishing those things weekly. So the bottom line is that it is your responsibility to separate work from life. It's your responsibility. If you want to set the boundary, it is your responsibility to make sure that you are enforcing that boundary with yourself. So after you get done listening to this episode, set your clear start time, set your clear end time, and get you a note or a Google Doc or whatever in your phone so that you can write down any ideas that come to mind when you are outside of that clear start time and clear end time, so that you can do what you want to do, so that you can do what you need to do better.